Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much for coming tonight. As I promised, we're going to start right on time, at least according to my watch. So I am quarter after. Set your watches by mine. That'll be right. I really do appreciate you coming. Our committee's thought behind making this meeting short tonight was that if we set everything quick and crammed it into 30 minutes, we get more people to come and we take up less of your time. So hopefully that works for you too. I'd like to ask the members of our nursery committee to stand. Ruth Ann Fecka, woo-hoo! Glenda Oliarchuk, woo-hoo! And Jen Sweet. Woo-hoo! There's Jen. And then we also have Sakara Palmer and Jen Rogers, but they both had to be out of town at the last minute tonight. So thank you very much. These are your nursery committee. On behalf of our nursery committee, I would like to thank every one of you for your willingness to give your time and your strength to minister to our babies and our toddlers and their parents. In our church family, they're the seeds that are growing our church, and they are just invaluable to us, and without you, we couldn't minister to them like we do. The committee can give direction, but only you can make a great nursery program, and I think we have a great program. Several of you responded by completing our recent nursery questionnaire, and one of the major requests was to hold this meeting and to bring everyone kind of up to speed on our nursery procedures and also provide a refresher course on CPR and choking. Now you found a pencil and paper on your chair, hopefully when you arrived, and because of time, we won't take time for any questions or comments during this meeting, but please feel free to talk to us afterward, write questions or comments on your paper, and then give them to me. We welcome your questions and your comments. I have asked Helen Cantu, one of our registered nurses here at Shelby Road, to demonstrate the proper techniques for CPR and also what to do when a child is choking. Since Helen only has 15 minutes to do what often is a several-hour class, we will provide you with a handout as you leave to supplement this brief demonstration. Helen?
Hey, Jen Rogers.
Oh, Jen made it. Yay, Jen, you're here. We introduced the nursery committee. I'm just going to leave this there, maybe, but that's okay.
That baby looks kind of unresponsive, Helen.
Actually, this is Susie Q. Okay, this is Susie Q. First of all, I want to let you know that I'm not a person that does CPR training, so, just kind of bear with me. This is just from what I've learned over the years as a nurse. Okay, first of all, when you have an infant, this is under 12 months of age, and you see that she's choking, and you think that maybe this child has something and is choking. If she is coughing or crying, you just monitor her, watch her to see if you can see it, then you take it out. But if she is crying or coughing, then you're not to do anything, because the best thing to do to get an object out of the mouth is for the child to do the coughing herself. Now, if you see that she is no longer crying and that there is no breath coming in, then you want to start doing abdominal thrusts and back lifts. Now, with the child, I'm going to get this chair, or with the infant, I should say. First thing you're going to do is you're going to take this baby, you're going to support her head just like this, and straddle her right on your arm, and then you're going to put her head down, and you're going to do 5 back lifts right between here. 1. Then you're going to sandwich her. This is what we call sandwich her. You're going to support her spine, her neck, and you're going to take, there's an imaginary nipple line that they call it. You're going to put your fingers there. 3 fingers, and then you lift that one up, and you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You're going to keep doing that, making sure that her head is down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Keep doing that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, before any of this starts happening, there's usually 2 people in the nursery. You have the other person call 911. Okay? And then you keep doing that. You continue to look. And then what you're going to do, after you've done that for a little while, doesn't look like she's breathing, you're going to give her 2 breaths. And because the baby is built differently than an adult. You're just going to make sure that she's nice and straight, okay? You're going to lift your chin a little bit, then you're going to put your mouth over her mouth and nose and do 2 puffs. I usually don't go up this much, but since I'm talking to you, you're just going to do 2 little puffs. Okay? If the air goes in, then you're going to keep, and she's still not got that object out, you're going to go ahead and keep doing that. Okay? Keep doing that and doing that until you see the object. If you see the object, then you're going to take it out. If you don't see the object, you're not going to stick your finger in there looking for it. Okay? Okay, so say the baby is now unconscious. And before, I know some of you have had CPR before, some of the people would look for brachial pumps and then start doing CPR. And it's really not recommended to do that because a lot of people that are not in the medical field, they're not going to know where to find brachial pumps. You're going to go here, here. So what you're going to do is you're going to just start doing CPR. Okay, you're going to do 2 small breaths. Again, you're going to lift that chin up, not too much, 2 puffs. You're going to kind of look to see if her chest is going up, and if it is not, you're going to re-tilt that head just a little bit. 2 puffs again. Okay, it's not, so then you're just going to go ahead, nipple, imaginary nipple line, lift that up. Then you're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. Crush them. 2 puffs. And then again. 2, 5, 6, 7, 8, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. You just keep doing that until you finally see that she's breathing and she's fine, or you just keep doing that until emergency people come. Okay? Now, if there's 2 people, and when you're switching, and this is just going to be kind of quick, you're going to be doing compressions and doing puffs, and then you can maybe have the other person come and start doing the puffs, and you do compressions, or you can switch. And someone who's done CPR will help you with that. Okay, now this is for the children that are 12, that are a year older and the older. Now you see that they're coughing, they're choking. And again, if they're coughing, choking, talking, crying, then you're just going to let them and encourage them to cough and cough that item up. And then you see that they're starting to turn blue, starting to turn red. They're not crying anymore. You're going to take that child, you're going to do the back blows again, and you're going to do it just right in between here. And do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then you're going to take that child, kind of lean her back. You can either do the standing behind the child or leaning behind the child. And then again, if you see that she's starting to turn blue and is not choking that thing up, you're going to have someone else call 911. Okay, just remember that. Always have someone call 911. Because even if you get the child breathing, and looking, and you get that object out, you want to have that child checked over because you don't know if that has had some internal harm done with that object. So you're going to take that child, right here's the belly button, between the belly button and the breastbone. You're going to take your fist, just like that, and go like that, and you're going to do the abdominal thrust. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then again, you're going to grab her like this, hold her, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And it's going to be a little bit faster, but just distinct blows. And again, your fist here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then you're going to look, if you see the object, you take it out. If you don't see the object, you continue to do that. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so say the baby is unconscious now, or child, you're going to take that child on the floor, flat object, you're going to gently put the child on the flat surface. You're going to tilt your head back with your finger and lift your chin. And this time, because this is an older child, not an infant, you're going to close the nose, pinch the nose with your fingers, and you're going to do 2 puffs. And just remember, children's lungs are not as big as yours, so don't give a big puff. You're going to do small puffs. If nothing goes in, you don't see anything going in, you just go ahead and re-tilt that head. Okay, 2 puffs, and then what you're going to do with a child, and this doll's a little small, but you're going to put your hand right on the breastbone, make sure those fingers are up, and then you're going to do 1, 2, and then again you're going to do 30 compressions. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. And you're going to go 2 puffs, and again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. 30 compressions, 2 puffs. 30 compressions, 2 puffs, or 2 breaths for the child. Just keep doing that until emergency personnel comes to get help or until the child is better. And then again, you're going to monitor the child, and you want to have that child seen by the emergency personnel or the hospital, just to make sure that they're not in any danger. And you want to start doing compressions and breaths right away because you want to keep that oxygenated blood going, because a few minutes without oxygen can cause brain damage, and then of course it can cause death. Okay.
Thank you very much, Helen. It's much appreciated. Well, our number 1 goal for 2011 as a committee is to be kind and friendly. And so we also pass that challenge on to you as our nursery staff. You are the face of Shelby Road. And you may be the very first impression that a new mom or a dad or a grandparent has of this church. It's a big responsibility, but I believe we can do it, and I think we can do it well. This church is all about family. And it's our job to just overflow with friendliness and kindness and compassion to the littlest family members and their parents. We can make or break their future here at Shelby Road based on how we treat them when they come to the nursery. We've studied every response from the questionnaires that you've turned in. One of the ideas that you submitted we are already implementing, and that is a cleaning checklist. It is posted on the bulletin board inside the nursery, and we would really like to have you do everything in your power. Sometimes it's a little crazy, but we'd like to have you try and get most all the surfaces washed down one time during your service. We've also been asked to work harder at taking only well children into the nursery. Having to refuse to take a child into the nursery is, I think, one of the hardest things about being a person on the nursery staff. Believe me, I get that. But if you notice a little one with anything more than a clear runny nose at the time of check-in, please kindly ask the parents to keep the child with them and not leave them in the nursery. Explain that this is for the well-being of all the children, because sometimes it could be their well child who is exposed to a potentially sick child if we allow children to be brought into the nursery who may be sick, coming down with something, because what's coming out is more than clear, yellow, green, whatever. If you notice a child with a yellow or green runny nose after they've already been brought into the nursery, please page their parent, kindly explain the situation to them, and ask them if they would take their child out with them. If there's an issue with a parent, send them to me, or at least let me know about that, okay? As you requested, we will also work on replacing our smocks and redecorating the nursery at some point this year. We've been asked to revamp our toys. Now, we just had a nursery shower last summer, but if you would like to donate any new or gently used toys to the nursery, we would gladly welcome them. You can talk to me about that. We could especially use washable books and educational toys. We would like to reduce the quantity of our toys and upgrade the quality, and perhaps you'd like to help us with that. Now, for some procedural comments. First of all, please try to be in the nursery 15 minutes before your service. That is a tremendous help to the people who've just been serving for that past hour, who often need to get to their next commitment or the next service or whatever. It really would help us out a lot. It also helps to have a few extra hands available when new children are being brought in, children that are in there are being signed out. Because it's just, you all know, you've been in there. It's a little bit of a scramble, that 5 minutes or so when that overlap time happens. As requested, we now have clip-on name tags for every worker, I believe, except possibly Ilana and your daughter, because I haven't gotten to you guys yet, but I have your name on a list. So when you come in, ideally, the person in charge of your service, one of our committee members is in charge of every service, will have gotten your name tag ready for you. It'll be laying on the counter. You just come in, get your smack, wash your hands, and clip on your name tag. Okay? It serves two purposes. First of all, it helps everybody working in there get to know everybody's names, but it also shows a professional look, nice, clean, crisp look to the parents, the people dropping off children, and it identifies you as a safe person. You've been checked, you've gone through our approval process, and you are an approved scheduled worker. Okay? Remember, only the person whose name is on the sign-in sheet and who has a pager can remove a child from inside that gated area for any reason. That includes a good friend, that includes a grandparent who's stopping by for a brief visit, which, by the way, if you're one of those grandparents, we would strongly encourage you, please don't do that, because when you leave, the little ones are so sad. That also includes me, and I'm naming myself because I committed the crime. Recently, I stepped in, I did, so I can use myself for an example, and no one will be offended. Recently, I stopped in during one of the nursery services, just to see how things were going, see if anybody needed anything or whatever, and one of the little ones inside the gated area reached out their arms to me and wanted me to hold them. I mean, who could resist that? The nursery worker handed the child to me. I held the child for a couple of minutes, handed him back, went on my merry way, and as we're talking as a committee and I'm putting this meeting together, I realized, oh my goodness, that cannot happen, okay? No exceptions. It just absolutely cannot happen. Under no circumstances, once a child is admitted inside that gated area, can they be handed to anybody other than the person named on that sheet, not even a relative or a friend. The reason for that is we do not know what issues may have transpired in a family during the past week, and the person that's signing the child in must be able to trust that no one, other than the scheduled nursery workers or the person that they have named as the pickup person, is going to have access to that child once they're signed into our care. Okay? In the event of a fire, there are cribs in the crib room. Roll those cribs out into the main room in the nursery and pop the children into those cribs. There, as most of you realize, there's an exit door right inside the nursery. Don't ever leave the nursery. Put the kids in the cribs, wheel those cribs out the door, right straight up to the parking lot. Our men keep that entryway clean of snow in the winter for us, so at all times we should be able to get right out there.
And the cribs do fit, because I try it on a slow Sunday. Only a couple kids escape.
Also, when you get the kids in the cribs, get them out, make sure that somebody grabs those 2 sign-in clipboards, because we have got to take account for every child. Make sure every child named on that list is also out in the parking lot in those cribs. And then grab blankets and coats if necessary, and the conditions permit. In the event of a life-threatening emergency, such as choking or a very serious injury, something life-threatening, or an abduction, there is a button on the small box right on the nursery wall, right above the little box where you can page a parent. There is now another little cream-colored or little white box with a button. It kind of looks like a doorbell. Don't press that button unless there is a life-threatening emergency or abduction. If you press that, it will set off a strobe light, which no one will be able to miss, in the auditorium, and emergency personnel will immediately come to the nursery. Many people know about this. The emergency personnel who are trained, people like Angie, with our police officers. They know about this light, and if it goes off, they will immediately head to the nursery, okay? With the exception of nursery nanas, everyone who helps in the nursery should also help with checking and changing diapers. Please be sure to grab the diaper bag before you put the child on the counter. I've been guilty of this. It's so easy to just walk over there and get started and then, no diaper bag. Don't ever, 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 ever walk away from that child. I know we have a nice little wooden edge around it, but it doesn't matter. If they're naked, whatever, pick them up or get somebody to grab the bag for you. But ideally, grab the bag before you go over there. Take the child over. There are, got my supplies. There are gloves to use. So if changing diapers grosses you out, you don't even have to touch. You know what? Gloves to use. And they are latex free. For anyone who has a latex concern, they are latex free. Let me see here. Okay. For those who haven't had much experience in changing diapers, I know that's like, maybe 1% of you, but we have been asked in the nursery questionnaires to demonstrate that. So I'm going to do that really quickly.
Actually, my daughter needs a diaper change.
Is she dirty? Because I don't do dirty.
I don't think so.
Okay, I'm deviating with my script. I have to get back here. Okay, if you go to check a diaper, every child's diaper needs to be checked near the end of the service. Start about 15 minutes before the end of the service because it just takes a while to get through everybody. But if you open the diaper, we're going to pretend that this is right now a dirty, wet diaper, and it's going to become a clean diaper too. So get your imagination, okay? But if you grab your child, your diaper bag, which I don't have, always, every child, put a clean changing pad underneath them. Lay the child on. Obviously, the diaper is not normally on the outside of the clothes. We're pretending this is naked baby. Okay, I didn't need gloves, but gloves are here. You remove the diaper this way, pull it down, and with these paper diapers, usually if they're wet enough to change, when you go to feel them like this, they're kind of squishy, kind of spongy. If they don't feel very spongy, you don't need to change them. At least I think I'm speaking for most parents. They're too expensive to just whip them off every time because we're supposed to check them once an hour. So we're assuming this baby is soaked. We're going to pull the wet diaper down. We're going to take a wipe out of their diaper bags because they parents have them in there because there's brands that they like or their baby's not allergic to. Use theirs first. If they don't have some in there, you can assume that it must be okay to use the ones that we have by the changing counters. On behalf of the baby who cannot beg you, I'm begging you, take that freezing cold thing, put it inside your hand for a minute or two, and try and take off the chill a little bit before you stick it on their most sensitive little places. Wipe them down, get into the cracks and crevices, which is worse on little boys, I think. Never had one, but, yeah, lots of little slippery, slidey crevice things.
Video.
Once you get that done, take your dirty wipe, put it down on this diaper that's already soaking wet, pull it up from under the baby, roll that thing up, stick the tabs on there, and if it's wet, just throw it in the wastebasket. If it's dirty, we've got the diaper genie, and that's down underneath the cupboard there. Okay, now we're pretending this is a clean diaper.
Also, with girls, always wipe front to back to avoid vaginal infections.
Good point, good point. That's just good for going potty and everything. But yeah, with baby girls, wipe front to back, definitely. Okay, we've got our clean diaper here. We've got tabs on one side, no tabs on the other. Take the side with the tabs, slip it under the baby, bring the front up through the legs, peel that tape off. Okay, peel that tape off for some reason. Okay, oh, it was already off. Okay, sorry. I'm only had 3 kids. Pull those little tapes around and stick them on, and kind of use your own judgment. But I'm telling you, I've seen babies that are strapped so tight their little bellies are just hanging way out. And I'm thinking, hello, do you like your pants that tight? But on the other hand, you don't want it falling down, especially with infants, because when they go number 2, that stuff slides out everywhere. So kind of use your own judgment, but nicely stuck. And then when you're all done, obviously take care of the baby, put the bag away, soap and water in the bathroom or the pump disinfectant stuff that we have. Please try really, really hard to remember to do that after every child. Then go to the sign-in sheet, and there's a place to write the time and check on there if you've just checked them or if they've been changed, so parents know that. Okay? If a child gets hurt while you're serving in the nursery, we have yellow accident report forms, and they are in the pockets, the wall pocket things right behind the counter. I'm sure many of you have seen them there over the years. It's just a brief little thing, a place for you to, describe the incident, put your name at the bottom. When parents come to pick up the child, go over what happened. This is assuming it's not major enough to call the parent. Explain to them what happened, because all of a sudden, Johnny's got this pinkish red bump on his forehead that he didn't come in with. When you're done with this, have the parent, I guess you don't have to have the parent sign it, but just sign that you went over it with them, and then give this to me, because I keep these on file. That way, if there's any question, I've got paperwork to follow up on. Okay, if you have any questions, please feel free to contact me at any time. You can contact any of the nursery committee. If you have an unhappy parent for whatever reason, you're welcome to deal with that yourself, but most people don't want to, and I don't want you to have to deal with an unhappy parent. So feel free to send them to me. I will do my very best to try and calm the waters and get the situation rectified, if at all possible. And I think that is about it. As you leave, I'm going to ask, let's see, do I have four nursery committee people here, right? I think I do. So I'm going to ask if two of you will go to that door, two of you to that door, and I want everybody to get two handouts, because I've got a nursery handout, I've got Helen's, and then I've got one, because obviously with this amount of time, I didn't have time to go over everything. So please take a couple minutes and read these over. Again, thank you so much for all your hard work. I know it is work. It's fun too, but it is work at times especially. So you are dismissed. Thank you.